I pot this. Hey, I'm here. Medioker poker. I'm in the Bonanza. We're playing, and I had to start because I got dealt into this hand, and it's a reasonable hand to play on the big blind. I flopped top pair to a limp caller in the button, so I'm potting. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna pot this because I think I'm. No, I'm gonna. It's a strong hand. I'm gonna bet half pot just to see what they do, and then we'll see at the turn. Yeah, they're gonna give it to me. I kind of figured as much. I just jumped in. Do you have a strategy today? My strategy is to play much tighter in early position and tighter overall. I've been calling far too loose, and then I'm also going to really be really cautious on river bets, even small ones. I'm going to assume they have a strong made hand because almost never has, in my experience, my bluff catchers never work. Like my marginal hands never pay off. Like, and so I just have to like, if it gets to the river and they bet, I have to pretty much let it go unless I've got the nuts or close to it. And so that's where I'm at with it. And I'm hoping that I can practice a little card reading and range reading because I think that's what I need to work on the most. I'm not paying enough attention to what my opponents are holding, and I'm paying too much attention to what my own cards and my own equity is. And I need to practice because I know what my cards is. I can look at them and see them. So I need to figure out what their cards are based on how they're playing and all that stuff. So I'm gonna try and practice that, and hopefully when Raina gets back, she's gonna she's gonna help me out and keep me on task.
I'm
So this hand is clear. Oh, you are back. You are back. Hello.
yeah,
Hello,
I
Raina.
heard your strategies to play tight and bluff catches for you just never working. If it gets to the river and they never bet, I have to let it go.
What they do bet. Yeah,
If
like
it,
I can still bluff, but I'm gonna try and bluff less. To be quite frankly, it's like this is I keep trying to get fancy at these stakes with this player pool, and it keeps biting me in the ass because really what I just need to do is play ABC type poker, like call, bring in, play good hands, and bet large when I have it, and that's it. And don't put money in the pot when I don't, and that's kind of it. It's like I've just been overthinking everything, and it hasn't been working, and it's been frustrating me. And so here we are. We've got an ace. Now here's the problem: is that six? That six is the problem. Yeah, it's a suited ace and a king, but that six doesn't work with anything, and we're not in position. So I am letting that go.
okay.
I'm not playing that suited ace with a king because of the six. And that's what I mean by tightening up, especially in early position. Now, I think I definitely would have played that hand on the button and I would have considered it on the cutoff, but not in the hijack. Does that make sense?
Yes. No, it doesn't.
Well, look at that flop. I mean, that's the result is like,
Oh,
so what this hand, so it doesn't make sense. So
wait.
what part of what I said didn't make sense? Is it just the jargon or the concept?
I think it's just the jargon that I'm still struggling with. It makes
Huh.
it hard for me to get the concept when I'm trying to remember what
Just trying to,
I'm like
yeah, when you're trying to like translate,
exactly.
I understand that. So let's talk about what do you remember what I said and what was the problem with it? Otherwise, we can just move on.
Let's move on. I think would be the best use of our
All right, well, let's talk about hand reading. So player five brought in for pot in early position. So we're putting them on a strong hand to a marginal hand. We know they don't have the bottom of their range. We know they've got good stuff in general. At least they're not capped. Now the flop came and see the small blind who's called donk, meaning they absolutely hit something here, probably a queen or better. They called, which means they could be on clubs, a straight draw, or have a queen that. And so now they check the turn. So they like the king, they bet, and they folded. So I'm going to say that seat five, seat two probably had a queen, was scared of the king, and that was just awful poker there. And this is a good hand that we are going to play, even though the nine and the seven's not great. The seven's not great, but it is double suited. But we're in early position, but it's going to go multi way. I'm just limp. I'm actually going to limp. I'm going to start limping because of this multi-way stuff. And look at that. We hit a great hand for our range. We have the nut flush draw. We have a backdoor royal flush draw. We've got straight draws. We've got every suit. I'm going to bet it. I'm going to pot this. Out of position, I'm going to pot it. I'm going to dunk it. Because we've got just a super strong hand here. And they called. We still only have a pair of threes, but we've got so much equity, we're potting it again. They're going all in. We're going to call it because if there's so many cards that can give us what we need. And one of them did. They had a pair of tens, by the way. They called two pot-sized bets with a pair of tens. Did they have draws? I don't even know. It sure didn't look like it. I think they did have spade draws. But like that was like, I mean, I don't regret doing that. I'm gonna bring this one in for sure too. I'm gonna three bet it because it's a great hand. On the button, we did get raised but it was such a weak raise. Look at, I don't even, no, that's not even a raise. That's a buying in blind. So we got a call. So they don't have a great hand, but that's good for their range, bad for ours. So we're gonna check it. Now we did hit top pair, so we're probably going to bet if they don't. So we did. So we're going to bet half pot, and see what they do with it.
Okay.
Just kind of see how they react to it. They're thinking about it, which either means they're not sure. Yeah, that's what it meant. So usually when they have a really strong holding, they don't think. They just immediately call or bet, or like when they're thinking about it, they're either thinking about raising or they're thinking about folding. They're never thinking about like I mean it's yeah. I mean I guess if they're thinking about it, they're either thinking about raising, folding, or calling. I suppose, but it almost never means they have like a strong made hand unless they're thinking whether or not they want to slow play. So I'm going to take all that back. What I said is a bunch of nothing.
Well, it sounded good to me.
Realizing that what I just said is like, yeah, they have either a good hand, a bad hand, or a large hand. And that's the only kinds of hands that it's like,
I mean,
yeah,
that's the
they
kind
have
of,
a hand. That's what that means.
but they also have their own idea of what it is.
That's true, but I don't want to just start trying to read players' minds through my wireless, through my internet connection. That's
It's
wild.
quite challenging.
It's not even possible. It's not a thing.
Neuralink.
So you can read people based on the way their reaction speed. It's a thing for sure, and I do it. But like it's that's what I was kind of getting at. I was kind of giving you my read, but what I realized is my read was really not very focused.
Well, that's
So I'm not raging these players. We've got the river. Flush wins the day. We could find out what seat one called with. Seat two we know calls light. We know they call light. So I'm gonna with a that. I gotta fold it. You know why I'm folding? Tell me why I'm folding this hand right now.
because it's not any good.
Well, I mean that suppose I don't even agree with that.
Okay, it's
That
not,
dead
but the cards are
statement.
not connected. Not connected. You have, well, no, you have a king, jack, 10. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, look at the overall makeup of that hand and tell me the main reason why I folded that hand. There's two things that affect.
I mean, like right now, you would have a pair of tens
Yeah. So what?
on a pair of queens.
I'm not looking. We're not looking about what I would have had. We're looking about why I folded it pre.
Because the 4 is a weak.
Yes, that's the answer. The 4 is disconnected and has no bearing. So this is a 4-card game. So when one card isn't worth anything at all, it's a bad hand. Even in late position, this is a fold because of that 4.
Wow.
And I'm trying to tighten up. Like it's like this. It has no nut value because there's no ace. And yeah, it's got Broadway connectors, but it's got 3, not 4. That dangling four just wrecks it.
Okay.
And look at this one. What should we do with this hand, Raina?
I mean, it's trips, but it's 3. So,
Trips? Is it trips?
oh, it's not because it's you can only have 2 cards. No.
Yeah, that's a really bad hand.
Oh my God, that's like Texas Hold'em logic.
Yeah. So yeah, we block our own sets. So the best hand we could possibly get. I mean, we could get. I mean, we could flop quads with the king, but like the best thing we can get with those threes is the fourth three, which then we would only have a set of threes, and that's one card out of 48 that are left in the deck. Is this a good hand right now?
Okay, it's a pair of eights. I think
It's rainbow.
it's a rainbow.
We're on the big blind.
Oh, we're in the. So it's, but we can free roll.
Well, we can't free roll because we got raised by the low jack.
Oh, so we should.
But it's heads up, and I am going to defend it. It's heads up, and I am going to defend it because we do have a pair, and I do have ace and a king.
But you would fold if it was multiple.
I would fold in any other circumstance. We now don't have a flush, but we have a flush blocker and a strong straight blocker here. So this is a good hand to bluff. So I might bluff this one. We're going to see what seat 5 does. If they check this back, they're going to bet it. And I'm just going to go ahead and raise them pot here and see what they do. Now, if they call back, that means they've got flush. Yeah, see? And so the reason I did that is because we had the blockers. So I thought I could get away with it. And I was absolutely right. I'm not always going to be right about that.
Right.
Oh my God. I have this chair that I'm sitting in, and I've been banging my ankle against like the bottom of it recently, and my ankle is like really in a bad way, like because I keep banging my ankle in the.
Well, don't do that, Amanda. That sounds terrible.
I think that's great advice, Ray, and I think I'm going to take.
Oh, that's what I'm here for, sweetheart.
Don't do that, Jesus. Yeah, that's like a joke from like World War II.
I am from World War II.
I said a doctor, and I said, hey, if that's what I do this. He said, don't do that.
I am from the past. I'm like Captain America, but not at all.
You're from World War II?
Yeah, no.
You're a nurse at the USO.
That's right. Were they entertainers? Or was I singing as a? Yeah.
Ray. Go to the base with Bob Hope. All right, I got a double suited shit hand because it's low cards and the king don't match, so I'm folding a double suited king hand and the button. That's how tight I'm getting. I'm done with these marginal fucking hands that cost me money. I'm only playing good hands. Oh, by the way, hey Charlotte, hey Alexis, I did see you there. I didn't say nothing.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's good. Hey, we've been doing we did Being Trans, and I got the mood of Brooklyn Vinny, and like another thing is yeah, but one of my kids that I work with, last week was Memorial Day weekend, and there was like a 4-day weekend for them, and so one of them, her parents, they flew to Chicago, and she'd never been, and so I was like, I turned on the Chicago accent for her. I was like, oh, you're gonna get a Polish sausage, and you want to know what a Chicago accent sounds like? She's like, yeah, show me a Chicago accent. So I did. So now, and then after talking to Brooklyn Vinny, like I'm all in the zone. I'm all in the East Coast zone. So I'm gonna have a little bit of that flavor lingering in, I think, because it's like it's such a fun one. When I used to wait tables pre-transition, like I worked in pizza places primarily, and so I put on an East Coast accent, and it worked not only because I was slinging pizza, but also what you can get away with vis-a-vis being okay. Let's look at this
It's a good hand. This is a good
It's
hand.
not.
It's not.
You know why? Tell me why it's not a good hand right now.
Blocking other better hands because the queen.
Nope. looking hard. I got
Oh, the
I got
two. It's a
Yeah,
four-card
it's
game.
got a two in it, and we're in
It's a
early
four-card
position. We're
game.
under the, and it's got a
One card's
two.
bad. The hand is bad.
And jacks aren't strong, and queens aren't. Now this is a rundown with a pair, and we're on the big blind, so we will be defending this hand, but we will not be defending it to a three bet. And we're getting a free roll here, so we're just going to take. And we hit a set of sevens
Oh,
with an
that's great.
eight block. Well, we have the eight blocker, so it's not great. So
Oh,
and we do have the five blocker though for the straight. So I am gonna bet, but I'm gonna bet small. Well, I have to bet pot because there's only 2.9 in there. But like, I would bet that small because we blocked the eight and we blocked the straight and the straight and the straight draw. So there's still a chance that there's a straight draw that will call us, but we have the eight and the seven, and we blocked the. Yeah, so I mean, we weren't going to get called on that, but I mean, I'm not betting less than 3.4 big blinds multi-way. Like I did have the strongest hand. Well, I didn't. I had the second nuts because the nuts was the straight, but I blocked. Now this hand looks like it might be good, but it's also not. And tell me why, Rayna. Two reasons.
oh, because we're blocking.
Three reasons actually.
We're,
Four reasons.
it's rainbow. We're blocking. We're blocking our own better hands.
No, we're not blocking anything of our own.
We have a pair of tens.
Yeah, we have a pair of tens. Is our tens good?
I mean, they're okay, right?
They're marginal, right?
Marginal. Okay.
Yeah, they're marginal. So that's two reasons. All the hands over. You got two. I think you would have got all four. We had more time.
Given sufficient time.
If you can remember what else was in that hand, I can tell you. Let's finish what we were started. Oh shit! I can't connect to the server for some reason. I can't get the hand history. That blows. That sucks. Oh, what a drag. Uh, I don't have access to hand history, so that really sucks actually. But whatever. No one else does either.
Oh, does that happen sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes this is a European site, and sometimes they have weird server issues, and it could be like an overseas thing. It could be a lot of stuff. They're not like rock solid on the tech end. They're decent. They're good enough for government work. They can stand like make it better. Like for example, coin poker works way better in all arenas. But coin poker moves way too fast for me for pot limit Omaha. It's like you only get 10 seconds to act, and here you have 30. I'm like, I need to think about stuff for more than 10 seconds sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a pretty garbage hand. We're down. That's all right. We just started. We're taking it easy. We're not playing too many hands. Here we go. I apologize. I was talking about oh, excuse. Yeah, I was talking about the East Coast accent, waiting tables slinging pizza, and I'll re-roll it. And we got a weird draw, but we're not exactly in position, so I'll check it. I'll check it back. We have some draws here. We have some reasonable draws. No, we don't. Two sucked, even though we've hit it. Yeah, I'm betting it. If I hit my draw, I'll win the pot. And we do. Well, we get a call even. No, we split it. They also hit a bad draw. Awesome. But yeah, so I was waiting tables most of my life. Most of my youth was spent waiting tables, and most of that was in pizza places. And I waited tables with an East Coast accent,
That
and
would have
like
been so fun. I wish I had found myself
I
in a
was a
pizza
great
place you were
fun.
at.
It was really, yeah, and but that's the thing. So not only it did it add a layer of like fake authenticity because it was pizza, but also like on my end, you would be amazed at what you can get away with. This being rude to customers because you have that accent.
Oh, because you're in character.
I can say things to their face that I would never be able to get away with, and I would get fired over if I didn't have that accent. I'm bringing this in and I'm raising, even though we're blocking our own flush here. Even though it's a dirty suit, that's a 4 card. It's a Broadway. We got 4 Broadway, and yeah, that's super okay. I think we're in real good shape here. It's a strong hand. I'm just betting pot. They'll probably just fold, but I hope they call. We get a call, so we did hit our straight. So we're gonna go ahead and if we bet pot here, they're almost certainly gonna fold unless. But I'm gonna bet on the big side because they might be chasing a flush draw here. So we're gonna do that. And now we're gonna do this. And now we definitely have the nuts. So they're only gonna call us if we bet small. So I'm gonna bet overly small, and I'm gonna bet 15, which is less than a third. And we're gonna see what they do about it.
Okay. Well, now we're playing heads up, right? Oh,
Yeah,
call.
we're playing heads. And so I don't. Maybe I could have milked more out of them, but I don't think they were gonna call anymore. But they did,
So
and I can't look to see what they had.
I know, right? Now this doesn't seem like
Yeah,
that. This seems is this okay? I
it's
mean, a
a
good
terrible
hand.
hand. It's a
Okay, I'm
terrible
right.
hand.
It is a terrible hand. I'm gonna just get a
Six, fuck, I'm getting rid of it.
yeah, Jack 6. Jack
Yeah,
6. That's right. Jack 6 is dog shit.
six is a dangler. Six is a dangler, even though it's got a suit. What am I gonna do with it? What am I gonna do with a suited jack and nothing else?
So we have a question in the chat.
Yeah,
Christina
what's up here?
asks, "What does it mean nuts?"
Okay, Christina, happy. The nuts is the best possible hand. So, for example, on this board, there's a 10, a 7, a 5, and a 3. So 4, 6 makes a straight. And that's the best hand. So if you have a 4 and a 6 in your hand on that board that was just there, you would have had the nuts. The best possible hand that's available on the board is the nuts. That's what it is. Period. I don't know exactly why it's called that, but it is definitely called that.
It seems a little crazy to me. Forgive my bad joke. Forget about it.
Forget about it. Forget about it. Get the fuck out of here. They can actually say that. Waiting table. They're like, get the fuck out of here.
That's amazing. I would love that. I would just sit and like
Oh, a
watch
refill on
that.
San you say. Oh, I'll be right on that. Wait, let me drop what I'm doing.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's still terrible. Hey, how's your pizza? Oh, it's great. Yeah, I know how fucking good it is. Of course it is. Fucking work here.
So basically, no mercy.
I mean, it wasn't quite that shitty, but like it was like it's the thing about waiting tables is it's about reading people and knowing gauging what you can get away with and giving them what they want. Like you want to be the person that they want to get. Some people want you to leave them alone. Some people want you to joke with them and chat with them.
Yeah.
Some people want you to choose for them. Some people want you to like tell you like a butler. Someone want you to like call them sir. It's like it's a weird thing, and you just kind of have to be able to pick up quickly what that table wants, and that's why like being a server really transfers over very well to playing poker, because poker is about reading reading people and calculating percentages, which are the two things that servers are excellent at. It's the two, and acting quickly, making fast decisions. Like it's all of those things are what you do as a server. You're constantly moving, and seconds matter, and you have to make snap decisions, and you have to roll with it, and to react quickly, shift gears quickly, like all of that stuff. And what do you do? Like every server looks at your tip and immediately can calculate the percent down to the tenth of a percent. Like every single server does that. Like just so you know, every time they walk away from the table, they're talking to every one they work with about what percentage you hit. 100% of the time that happens. That's the thing they're all doing. Like, and they will
Wow.
never say anything to your face ever. Oh, it doesn't matter. It totally matters. Like that's all. I mean, it's not all they care about, but it's mostly what they care about because it's their money. It's like that's their living. And so like, yeah, like, oh, this fucker only tipped me 12.5%, like 12.3%. Who's gonna tip 14.8%? You could have just gone a little extra. It's like those are normal conversations here in the kitchen of a restaurant among the
So
servers' kitchen.
what's your thought on tipping and where the percentages is keeps going
I
up and
always
up?
tip high because I was in the service industry my whole life.
Uh-huh.
So I generally tip from 20 to 50%, depending on the service.
Wow.
You would have to be fucking dog shit awful and piss me off to get less than 20% from
Oh,
me.
but that is possible. You don't just automatically
No,
somebody
I've done
gives
it.
you truly bad service.
I don't stiff anyone, but I've had people where I was I'm not giving you fucking much. You suck. And it was just like, and it's, and you have to really fuck up bad, like for me to think that, like, cause I'm very tolerant, I'm very understanding, but there's just certain stuff where it's like, hey, like if you're just not around, like all, and it's not busy, because if you're not around and it's fucking busy, I guess. Like if I'm like sitting somewhere and there's no one around and I need something, or if I ask you for something and then you don't give it to me, or like you make me wait around for the bill forever, like when there's no one else around, it's like there's like certain things that it's just like, it's just like a, yeah, like, and like I say, it takes really, really, really bad service for me to tip less than 20%.
Okay.
Yeah, like what Charlotte said, hospitality gives you an honorary degree in psychology, cleaning, and sociology. You're not wrong about any of that. It's crazy how well that skill set that you develop doing that job transfers over to everything else. Even though it's really hard to get jobs after that, it's really hard to do something after that, like because people really look down on it, like every company like is like, if you want to go from being like a server into like the corpo world and you're older than 30, like every place is going to look at you like, why did you stick around doing that so long? That's children's work, it's like kids stuff. And it's like you don't, but they all don't know what the job actually is. Like no one everyone that doesn't do that job radically underestimates what goes into that job because
Right.
of the nature of the job. Like, because the job is to make them feel like everything's fine. It's never fine. It's never. It's always a fucking crazy, insane shit. Problem here. What's the problem, Rayna? We're so close to having a good hand.
Five.
Yeah. And the seven, quite
Oh,
frankly.
on the seventh. Okay.
Yeah, neither of those match up with the queen. Even though it's double suited, the queen is a weak suit. I would have played that hand in the button. or on the big blind, but I don't think I would have played it anywhere else. And even then, I'm starting to think I might not even play that on the button. Like I definitely would have defended the big blind. Like I don't think and maybe on the button, I don't know. I'll have to be there. I probably, there's something like, I don't know, like 185,000 combinations of hands in Pot Limit Omaha. So I won't see that hand again for a while. The chances of me catching that same hand on the button is unlikely to say the least. But I'm remembering that. But yeah, this is the kind of hand where it's like now I would have had a pair of fives here and nothing else, and just I wouldn't have. I would have just punted money.
Gotcha.
We're not hand reading at all. We're blabbing about East Coast accents and calculating being a server.
All right. Well, we can get serious. I can.
Yeah, I know. I need to focus here. Right, it's a shit hand. Yeah. I don't even know if I can defend it. Free roll. Give me a free roll. Thanks. Hit top pair. We're gonna go for it.
Okay, even though we got the two.
Even though we've got the two, we're in it because we got a free roll. So what about
Yeah.
the pair? Let's see what happens. Got top pair with an ace. We got top pair, top kicker. I feel like we're okay. No one has kings or aces. And no one can. They might have two pair, a weird two pair. And so we no longer have now there's flush draws, there's straights, there's all a bunch of stuff can beat us now. A draw came in and I'm out of position. I don't have a super strong hand. I think they probably don't have us. If they have us beat, it's because they have a 10 in their hand, a random ass 10 in their hand.
Gotcha.
But
Yep.
if they had two pair when they called the queen, then they don't. I think it's safe to bet pot here. And so I'm gonna bet pot and see what they do. And the reason is I don't think they have a 10 because they wouldn't have called the initial bet. And if they had a queen and a 10 in their hand, I guess it's possible. It's like but you can't worry about every possibility. You have to consider what's likely. And I'm pretty sure I had the best hand. Because even if they had like queen something else, well the tens canceled that out. The ace played it.
Wait, so I blinked. Did we win?
Yes, we did.
Okay, we took down the pot.
Yeah, we're up 35.3 big blind.
Great.
All right. I didn't see what everyone did post flop. I wasn't thinking. I was talking and looking at the chats and not paying attention. But we got a bet here, so we'll start from there. They're all in, which is at least is a flush. Well, it's probably a pretty reasonably strong flush. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the nut flush. So if C2 calls, they have to have a strong flush, and they didn't. So I think it was a safe fold if they didn't have the king or king flush, king high flush or better. Is this a good hand right now?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic hand. We're gonna play that for sure. That's a monster. Is what that is.
And we're on the button
And
too.
yeah, and we're on the button. It's a real strong hand. Come on, stacks. Give us your stacks. Let's play for stacks on this one. That's what I want to do. Ah, it's all right. We'll take it. Number line. I'm gonna play it. No, maybe not. It's right on the edge. I'm gonna limp it. I'm gonna limp it. There's a bunch that are gonna limp. It's going multi-way anyway. I have some. They're gonna call. I'm still gonna call it. I'm gonna defend it. It's like it's just on the edge, and it's close enough to a rundown. And we didn't hit it at all. So it was probably a bad call. Probably should have just folded that. I have to fold it now. Yeah, it was a bad call. I shouldn't have played this hand. I should have flushed it down the toilet. Should have thrown it away. There's a leak. I recognize it though. That was a bad call, and I shouldn't have played that hand. Punted 6 big blinds, 6.7 big blinds or something like that. Shame on me. 5.7. But still, it was a punt. I was checking around. These players are pretty face up.
What do you mean by face up?
They're betting the hands. They're betting only their made hands. No one's bluffing.
Mm.
They're just playing their cards. That's all they're doing. They're playing their cards and they're betting when they're betting large when they have a strong hand and small when they have a marginal hand. They're scared of draws. They're scared of everything that is a better hand than theirs. They're not betting for thin value. All a bunch of stuff. They're just playing face up, trying to make the nut. All right. We're on the big blind with this, and so we're going to defend it. The king is suited. It is ace king, and yeah, the 6-3 isn't great, but the ace does play with the 3 does play with the ace, and the 6 is suited to the king, so it's good enough to defend, especially either way I was going to defend. So.
Okay, because it's
We did hit. We now do have top pair, top
okay.
kicker on a
Oh,
very
wow.
dry board. We block the wheel, so they. I mean, we have to call. They could easily have two pair or a set. So we'll see if they bet pot again. We're gonna let it go. They go all in. We gotta let it go. Now we have a straight draw. What a weird second bet, right? I mean, we have a straight draw. We have a wheel draw. We have a stronger than a wheel draw. We have top. I mean, we have to call that. And we did hit. Okay, we hit. Oh no, we had aces and twos. We didn't hit the wheel. I feel like we're gonna lose here. They have to have something better than a single ace. They have to. I don't think our ace is good. I don't think. Well, we've got two pair. I believe they have ace seven. I'm gonna let it go. I just don't think we can win this pot. I should have called for 3 big blinds, but I really think we just lost here. Yeah, we just lost. We lost.
Okay, so it was you made the right decision.
I made the right decision. Even for three, even at those outrageous pot odds, I made the right decision. I knew I was beat, and that's what you have to do. You have to overfold in such a like it. According to GTO, I should have never folded because of the pot odds. But like, if you know you're beat, you're beat, right? I'm not gonna play this game.
Yeah.
If you know if you're beat, you're beat. And that this actually would be a reasonably strong hand to play in any position but the small blind. But because it's a small blind, I'm not gonna do it. And I might have considered limping, but like I mean, well, it just looks kind of stupid. But like the king and the ace, or the king and the nine play together, and the ace and the four play together, and we would have hit a strong flush. So I'd have felt pretty good about being in this hand right about now. Yeah. Yeah, I would have felt great about it even with that. Or one of them could eat. Yeah, there's the ace. There's the nut flush. Look at that. We're murdered. We would have lost all our chips. That's why. That's why. That's why it's Omaha. Omaha's dangerous. I'm gonna play it because we are on the button and we have rundown with the suited ace, even
Okay.
though they're low cards.
Okay, because I would look at, I think, terrible hand, but it is on the button, and we
It's
do
on
have
the
an
button,
ace.
and it's because of the ace. It makes it ace 2, 3, 4, 5 is the wheel, and we've got the 5, 6. So we've even got the stronger low end flush. So we've got low cards, and we're on the button, and we're going heads up. So we're and so we that, and we have full equity. So like all of that played in together to result in us just taking down the hand, which is like that's the thing. Is like in the button you can play a lot wider if you're folded too. Now, if someone had bet in front of me, I wouldn't have played that hand. But
Mm.
because everyone in front of me folded, then I had the advantage. Does that make sense? Do you know why that is?
Uh, no, I don't.
So if someone had betted it in front of me, that I know that they like their hand enough to bet, right? And if they limp, well, then I know that they're going to call any raise I make. So either and when someone limps and I bet, if the big blind calls or the small blind calls or both of them call, then I'm going to definitely go into a multi-way pot. And it's not good to go into multi-way pots without strong nut value. And that had some nut value, but it was a lot of non-nut value because the cards were low. So, but because no one in front of me bet, everyone folded. I knew the only two positions that were left that could possibly play were the small blind and the big blind, and the small blind is likely to fold and the big blind is probably likely to play, but like a lot of poker games just do go because of the positions is button big blind. That's a common matchup. The button bets wide and the big blind defends, so those two positions go heads up a lot. You have a way to, you just have a way better chance of winning the hand going heads up, and you have so much more you can do when you're heads up. When you're playing multi-way, especially, this is especially true in PLO and Limit Omaha, your equity goes down so much when you're multi-way. Like you just can't. Your chances of winning. Oh, did I get a free roll here? Or did I call? I must have checked. They must have let me free roll with this dog shit hand, and it's still dog shit.
Yeah, it's like you see I see the three jacks,
There,
but like it doesn't
sleeping. I think
doesn't
I
help.
think this is my third free
The
roll on the big
three,
blind.
yeah.
Yeah, wild. The table's weak.
That's good.
I see. Well, here's the thing about that. It's a weak, but like it's weak in a very specific way, and so like my inclination would be okay. I can start being a lot more aggressive here, and it's probably true. But the thing is when players like this, what they don't do is back off. So I guess what I can really start doing is start betting. I don't want to do it out of position though, because like in Omaha, any card can radically change the nuts. And like when people are limping in, that means they're just playing any four cards. Really, it's impossible to put them on ranges.
Gotcha.
And like,
Yeah.
and they could have like any given time, someone could have top two pair. Like no matter what the board flops. Right now, someone could easily have quads because they limped with a pair of sixes. That were because they also had an ace and a queen, and it's like okay, like and now someone could easily have a flush, could easily have a straight, like could easily have a full house, and could reasonably have quads. So it's like my jacks like aren't doing shit
Right.
with
Yeah, it's
against four other players. Like someone's got it. Like I've got four cards in my hand, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 20, 20 cards out of 52 are in players' hands. So like, and plus 5 on the board. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I see.
So it's like
It's
someone's got it. If you
it's
if you're going
unpredictable.
5 ways and you ain't got it, someone's got it.
Yeah,
So you can't bluff because someone's got it.
right. More often than not, based on the yep. Yep. It's just highly
Yeah,
risky.
it's just like you can't do it. But if you're going heads up, well then they've only got they've got they've only got 4 cards too, and they're like then you can play, then you can bluff, then you can You throw your weight around. You have all sorts of moves available to you to gain information that you just simply do not have when you're out of position in a multi-way pot. Now here's one that also looks good but isn't. And since there's bets in front of me, I'm gonna let it go because it's like it's just not a good hand. It's a dry ace with a six, a dangling six. Yeah.
Why is it dry?
Three. It's dry because the ace. That means the ace isn't suited. Yeah, I have an ace and no. I have an ace of diamonds and no other diamonds. That's a dry ace.
Hmm.
All right, MS Brooks is here. Ms. Brooks, how you doing? Uh, three pair of jacks lose. Yes, three of a kind. I don't know. So no, it's not three of a kind. When you have three jacks in your hand, we're playing pot limit Omaha. So I don't know what you actually know if you're making jokes because you are using emojis. So forgive me if I'm talking down. But in pot limit Omaha, you can only and have have to use two cards from your hand. So if you've got three jacks in your hand, you can only ever use two of those jacks. And so what happens is if you have a third jack, that's really bad because then that diminishes the chances that another jack will come by 50%. Like so your chances of having a hand better than jacks really goes down the toilet. And in Omaha, because you've got four cards, jacks aren't nearly as strong as they are in Texas Hold'em, where jacks are a very strong holding, but that's because you only have two cards. So, like Texas Hold'em, you need because you've got four cards, you need all of those four cards to work together. Same thing with Texas Hold'em. If you have like one high card and one dog shit hand, you should throw it away. One dog shit card, you should throw it away. One card isn't good in Texas Hold'em. You need both your cards to be good. The same thing's true in Omaha. You need all four cards in your hand to work together to have a good hand. And that's really what the difference is. And a lot of people that play pot limit Omaha, they see two cards. They know that you can only play two, and so they think in terms of separating their hand into two cards, which you're not supposed to do. That's not good thinking. That's what a lot of players do, especially if they learned playing Texas Hold'em. And so what they'll do is they'll see a hand like mine. They'll say, well, king ten's all right, and 2-3 work together, and 10-3 is suited. So they'll talk themselves into playing this hand. They'll be like, well, I can see how these could kind of work, and so I've got a straight draw with my 2-3. I've got the wheel draw. I've got Broadway with king 10, and I've got a suit. So that's a good hand. I'm going to play it. It's a bad hand because the three doesn't work with the king or the 10. The three doesn't work with the king or the 10. The other thing, it just same thing with this. Like I'm blocking my own suit, so there's one less spade that I know I can get. Plus, I have a jack high and a two and a five, and nothing goes together here. So it's just a bad hand. So I'm going to get rid of it. This seems good, is what you're asking, and I hope so. My hand, this hand here, no, I'm not sure what you're asking with your question mark. By the way, yeah, okay. So this hand is very good. This king, king, queen, jack, even though there's no suits, it's called rainbow. It's a king. It's a pair of kings, which is strong, with two more Broadway cards. So not only is this hand good because it's a strong pair with cards that all work together, but all of those cards also block other Broadway cards. So it's me having this makes it way less likely that anyone else has a king, a queen, or a jack. All right. So this is not a good hand. However, it's on the big blind. So we're going to see. I don't even think this is worth defending on the big blind.
That's only if we get a free roll.
It might be. Actually, I am. And we're getting another free roll. So it doesn't. Right. Exactly, Ms. Brooks. We block our own spade so that it's less likely to come. I have tens and sevens here, so I have to call. I've got two pair. Uh, we'll see what they do now. I'm still going to continue calling. I do have a straight draw. They're going to bet pot again, so they could easily have better two pair. They could have a good strong. They could have two pair with a flush draw. I think they probably have a speed. Um, I'm gonna fold it, and the reason is because like we have two pair, but it's not the top two. They could easily have a set, and they're betting fast and hard out of position. So that I just believe them. I just believe that they had a better hand than us. They're telling us that they have a very strong hand. And I'm just going to believe them because these players just don't bluff enough. And they definitely don't bluff hard out of position like that. This is a good hand, and I am going to play it. I'm going to raise it from the small blind. The four is not great, but it does wrap with the ace to make the wheel. So we've got Broadway and the wheel and a suited ace. So this is a reasonably strong hand, and we do hit top pair with top kicker and a very good Broadway straight draw. So we're just going to go right ahead and come out betting, but we're going to bet small because we're out of position. No, we're going to check because we're out of position multi-way, and any draws really that come help us. So we're just going to check and let other people bet into this pot. Maybe I should have bet it. I probably should have bet it. I probably should have taken the lead. Now, if no one bets, then we're just betting pot, no matter what comes on the next one. Yeah, and see, they're going to take a stab at pot. So maybe they are over aggressive. I can't not call. Got too strong of a hand not to call.
Even with the four?
Even with the four, we've got top pair.
Top pair, yep.
Top hit a top shaker. We've got the nut flush draw. We've got the straight blocker. We've got straight draws everywhere. We're going pot. No, we're gonna let them. We're gonna check to the aggressor and let them bet. And then if they do bet pot, we're going all in. Now's the time to push. We have so much equity here. We're going all in. They're gonna call. They have aces, and they did beat us with aces and nines, and that's number one. But we had so many outs there, so we were. I don't regret playing that hand in the way that I did at all. And they took the money and they ran. Yeah, that's all right. But they were super over aggressive because all they had was two pair. They didn't have any draws or anything. So that was just a rando came in and just was pushing
Just
money
got sniped.
Yeah, we got sniped by an aggressive maniac, and that happens.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't regret it. I would play that hand the same way every time. I was happy to get all my chips in that pot. Yeah, I am gonna call. Yeah, we have. Okay, that did make our hand better. It's like, I maybe should. Yeah, I got the flush draw here. I got that. Okay, we got the cool. It's like we had something. We had something. We were beat, but we caught it.
So we're down one bullet.
No, we're not down a bullet. We're down 56.1 big blinds.
Okay.
And we have a strong rundown here. It's going to go multi-way, and we're blocking our own suit, so I am going to raise it. I'm going to raise it. Let's get a bunch. Maybe that'll get people out of the pot a little bit, but I maybe should have been okay with it going. I'm okay with this going multi-way because if it hits hard. Now, but the problem with something like this hitting is we could get the wrong end of a straight really easily. And here we have not quite a great thing. And they're going to check to us, so we are heads up. And since we brought in, and that's a good for our range, the king and the 10, we're going to bet half. And we're going to see what they do. They're just going to fold to us. So the king 10, because we were the ones that brought in and raised initially, that means we have a strong range. And since they called us, they don't. So high cards are really good for us. Middle cards and low cards are really good for them. So that's why we bet, even though we had a marginal hand with a pair of tens and not much else. Like on the it's called a range bet, and we were right to do it on the flop, especially. That's true. Um, as you get to the turn in the river, you have to readjust what the ranges are because if you bet on the flop and they call you, well, their range gets stronger. So you have to recalculate what their range is because they're not going to call with garbage. They're going to call with either draws or made hands. Sometimes even the nuts just to you know
Right.
with the slow plays. So this is also a reasonably very strong hand, even though we're in early position. We've got a suit and we've got a rundown, so we're going to do it. All those cards work together. The queen and the seven don't, but that those are all close enough together to play, especially in a board where there's a lot of folding and we have a lot of fold equity. So we can open up our ranges just a little bit. And that's a really, really bad flop for us because we shouldn't have low cards and they should. So we're going to check it back. And it just got worse. So basically, we're going to give up here. I honestly don't think I can even call one big blind. We have no equity at all. Like, we have to give up. We just don't have anything. Like, nothing can come that will help our hand. Like, I mean, if we hit the best card you could hit there is a queen,
Queen.
and like then we're still losing to an ace or a straight, and then we're putting more money in the pot because we have a queen because we hit our best possible hand. It's just even though it's one big blind, like the argument could be made that like, and I would even think about this, and I might have done it if I wasn't blabbing so much. But we could have because they bet one big blind, which is called a min click we could have just put in the pot and bluffed them off their hand because they probably didn't have. So their hand is really polar. Either they had the wheel or they had nothing and they were just bluffing. Or they had an ace with a weak kicker and were testing the waters. Like so if they had anything but the wheel and we ended up potting them after they bet one big blind, chances are they folded. They would fold their weak ace. But they wouldn't fold two pair, I don't think. And that's the problem with Omaha is like it's so easy for people that play wide ranges to have two pair, and you never know who's gonna fold and who's not gonna fold. Yeah, and we're down now. Now we're down. We lost that big giant. And like I said, I do not regret how we played it. I have not a single regret. I would play that hand the exact same way every time because we had so much equity that just didn't come. And that's okay that it didn't. But like when you have as much equity, we had so many like at least 40% of the remaining deck was a nut card for me.
Right. Well, it's like
And
not
so
every.
like
Yep. Yep.
yeah, and it didn't come. That's okay, but like those are the hands you want to get all your chips in because your odds of winning doubling your money are so good. Like all right, we're at the top of the hour, and I'm about ready for more water and to just maybe use the bathroom. So we can take a little break here.
All right.
I'm going to set up the next hand, and we will be back. While I'm gone, take a moment to think about the fact that you could get better at PLO by going to PLO Mastermind. You'll see it right below me there. It says the PLO Trainer Preflop Pass. You can get that. You can sign up for a free account, and they have all this cool stuff that you can do to learn how to play PLO. Lots of good training videos. Lots of like Rayna, you've done it with me before, where we sit and it'll just deal you a hand, and you have to decide what you're going to do with it. And then it will tell you if you made the right decision, and it won't tell you exactly why, but you can figure out why. And there's just a super good resource, and you can get an account for free. If you decide to do that, please use the URL below, and so we get a little money from that, and so help the transverse out a little bit. If you're going to get a free account, go through us. We'd appreciate it. We'll be back in a few.
Thanks.
See you soon. on the big blind next, so the timing's really good. We are down. We're down 55.7 big blinds. And it was all because of that big hand that we lost. And as I said earlier, I would make that same play again and again and again and again, 100 times in a row. I knew they had me beat when we made that move, but we had so many equities. Like I was telling Raina, 20% of the deck gave us. So what do you do with that? Yeah, it's like, what do you got? Like it's just what do you do?
Well,
You gotta
80% of the time that would have worked out.
yeah. I would say like more 40% of the remaining deck. Like 20
Wow.
cards. 20 cards out of that deck. So yeah, 45% of the deck was gonna give us the nuts. Like of course you gotta go all in. Like, how do you not? Besides, I mean, they should have folded once I did that. Like they should have seen that and like, fuck, because they didn't have a super strong hand. They had aces and nines with no draws. They were supposed to fold. And so like they just they just played the way they played. We got aces. We got aces with a suit. What do you think we're gonna do here, Raina?
I think we're going to play this hand.
We're gonna three bet that min click, that's for damn sure. Get your money in. One caller. We're gonna get four callers here? No. One down. They'll probably call. They were the one that brought in for their min click. Yep, they've got that much. What are you gonna do? You called. You gonna call again? Yep. All right. We have the top pair blocker and they're going all in. So I'm gonna call because we have not a whole lot. I'm gonna go all in. We have the 8 blocked. We have the aces. So unless they have like they might have 3 threes, they might have 3 fives, they might even have 5-3, but we're doing it anyway. Like we can't. They shouldn't have. Yeah, they have 5. What? 3 of a kind eights. They had eights. They had the other 2 eights, I guess. So what do you do?
What's number Wayne?
Wild. So one bullet down. One bullet down. I probably should have folded. Yeah. What wild play to call with that hand? Like to call with both of those hands. They called us. They cold called. They called. They limp called a three bet out of position with a pair with low cards with eight and a five and a two in their hand, and then this player did the same thing. Like limp called a cold three bet, and then had like 2 eights in their hand. Like it's crazy. Some wide, and that's a wild thing because everyone was folding their hands before. So I guess these are new players. We're 4 ways. We're down a bullet. So like, yeah, I probably should have folded that hand, but I mean, we're playing against maniacs now. Well, at least one maniac. C5's a maniac.
Well, I mean, it seemed like you had a monster hand. Am I wrong?
No, I didn't have a monster hand. I just had
Oh,
a pair of
okay.
aces, but like it was a bad flop for my hand. But like I still had a pair of aces, and they shouldn't have had anything. They weren't supposed to have shitty low cards, and they did. Like, and so I'm gonna give them a maniac. Fucking maniac. That's not just a slur. It's actually
Is that a
a
thing and
term.
actually a
Yeah, it's actually
category?
the proper term for that kind of player. Like they just bet, put a bunch of money in the pot with stupid plays. There's different types of maniacs, but they did was a maniac, and so they get it. They get the maniac handle. Why did I miss a free hand? Did I miss something? Well, I was labeling them a maniac.
No.
Why am I supposed to be posting a small blind? I don't understand what happened. I didn't miss a small blind. What the fuck? I don't understand it all. I don't understand what just happened with this. I
Hmm.
posted a small blind. I missed the cutoff spot though. Maybe it won't. Fuck it. I'll wait for the big blind. I'm not gonna pay to see the fucking low jack seat. Oh, I don't understand. I don't understand what just happened there with that. I must have missed something. Still, then why would it charge me? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening.
That's weird. How come I haven't noticed that before?
It was just that it wouldn't make it doesn't make sense. I didn't miss the small blind. I know I didn't. Like it's weird. It's a weird situation. It's
Very
like
strange.
whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. Maybe I did because I was too busy bitching about the maniac.
Well,
You
you
know,
were marking that person maniac, so
I was marking that person as a maniac. I wasn't paying attention to the clock, so maybe I did.
this is a fast-paced game.
Yeah, we were shorthanded too. We were going four way. Here we are on the big blind. I've got a suited queen and a pair of queens and a king. I'll be defending that. So they limped before, so they probably have a strong hand. I will see a flop with this big blind. If they continue with their bets, they almost certainly have an ace, so I'm probably just gonna check them. If they see that they see at least they might three aces. Easy fold, easy fold. So when a player limps, and that means they're playing cards because they want to see a flop because they want to hit something. They're gambling. When players that do that then bring in early position, they have a strong hand. They have a strong range. And so we have jack shit. We're going to fold it. We're just going to wait for a hand. They're not an aggressive maniac. They're a calling maniac. They're a fishy maniac, but they're a maniac nonetheless. What they did was calling that shit was maniacal. All right, this is good enough on the button. This is enough of a rundown here
Okay.
to play on the button. They're just going to call everything, which is great. So what we have to do then is when we hit a hand, we have to bet pot just every time.
Okay.
And we hit second pair and no real equity. We do have a backdoor flush draw, but we're in position, so I'm going to bet just because I can, because I have equity and position. I don't have much equity, but I have position. So that's a position bet. They showed weakness. They've got a short stack. Yeah. We did have some backdoor equity with the flush, but like the backdoor flush. So we had equity. We had a pair. It was marginal, but position. And now we do have enough of a hand to play here also. We have the suited ace, and well, the seven and the nine aren't connected. Those other three cards play well enough together, and since this person's going to call every hand, we can be all right. They're going to play face up. Someone's going to tell us exactly what they have for their bets. We hit top pair and a nut flush draw, so we're going to bet top of them.
Okay.
They're going to fold their junk and call their draws.
That's good.
And we're going to pot it. So this is terrible for our range and good for theirs. So even though we have position, we're going to check it back because we don't have any piece of that board. On our
Okay.
hand, those are really good cards for a calling range. They should have eights and nines in their range, and we don't. And they bet pot, so we just have to let that go.
Okay.
So when you bet, you bring in, you're announcing to the table, this is what I know. I mean, I don't think the other players that we're playing against right now, maybe one of them, maybe one is thinking this stuff, but like, because they seem pretty rock solid up here. Like if you notice, they're just sitting back doing what I should be doing, which is just waiting for a rock solid hand and getting the money in and slowly collecting. I mean, that's kind of how to play, and I can't. I struggle with that. I know to do that. I just don't. I am gonna defend them. But they brought in, remember? So even though we have a strong straight draw, they're in position, and I don't think they're gonna bluff. They should. If three checks, I'm gonna check because I don't think seat five is going to bluff if they don't have clubs. So if they bet, I'm going to fold. But they bet one.
What does that mean?
What is here? That's the answer. They have clubs. C3 has clubs. And see, that's what you do.
Right.
That's what you
So
do when these shitheads bet like one. Like, oh, I'm just gonna see that because they knew they were supposed to position bet, but they couldn't do it because they were scared of the club. So they're like, well, I'll just pick one. And like, it's just like, yeah, fuck you. Every time someone does that, it just shows tremendous weakness. Maybe 19 times out of 20, when someone does that, they're holding marginal holdings at best. They have some sort of marginal hand that they want to fold. They're hoping no one will call them, and they could just like get buy the pot with one big
get
blind.
free money.
Yeah, maybe my second pair is good enough. Like it's not. So like kind of the thing to do always against that move is just shove your chips in the pot, no matter
Yeah.
what. Because like I said, 19 times out of 20 they'll just fold. 20th time they've got the nuts. you know,
Yeah.
and they'll just re-raise you, and then you fold. You know, or they'll call you, and then you're like, well, fuck. You know, it's like fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Fuck you with your min click. Go eat my ass. Yeah. I mean, we had a whole new table except for this guy up here, this person. I'm gonna give them a shark. Rock solid. They're a little face up. Maybe not. Maybe they're making really strategic bluffs, but I'm not going to argue with 457.8 big blinds. Like if you amass that, you either got really lucky or you're just playing slow and tight, which is probably kind of the right way to do this. I think I'm probably still playing a little too loose and aggressive. I should probably do what they're doing, just wait until I have a made hand and shove my chips in the pot. Again, it might be the right move. I don't know. I'm starting to think that it might be because I
But
see that.
that hand you had wasn't it? Oh wow, look at that. That's
Oh, I
good.
don't regret that big where I lost that money. I don't regret.
But that was the right play.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
right kind of
I
hand.
think so. I
Yeah.
think it, and like I said, I'm gonna do it over and over and over again because we had mountains of equity. We had the equity advantage, no question. And they weren't supposed to call with their terrible holding, and they did anyway. Right? They're disconnected, so they're gonna sit out. We have a monster, by the way. We'll be four betting this hand. We'll five. We'll go all in with this hand pre-flop. That's a monster. It's a real strong. So and they folded right away. They limp, so they'll probably call. So we have strong holdings. That's good for their limping range. Limping calling range. That's great for their junk that they're holding in their hand. We're still gonna bet because we have aces. Not too bad. God damn it. They hit two pairs. They just they get. Here's the thing. I am gonna call because I have and backdoor equity, but now I have to fold. And because I could have hit because if the board paired, then I have two pair, but now I
Uh,
have
yeah.
two pairs. They have seven to nine. Or a set of twos. Like, yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, damn it. That's what sucks. It's like, okay. And I should have just folded. I should have just folded that bet. They obviously had two plus left. I was like, oh, I've got aces. Yeah, I should have just let them go. Should have just let them go because if the board had paired, then they could have easily had a full house because they've got 2/3 of the board. Just like, yeah, that was a bad call. It was a bad call. That was a leak. I leaked too many chips then. It was a bad decision. That's not one I would do every time over and over. That was me being married to my hand because it was aces. Because it was a strong pre that was a classic example of a strong pre-flop hand that immediately turned into a bad post-flop hand, and I still called because it was a strong pre-flop hand. Because I didn't want to give up on my aces. I was beat. And all I did was give them more money than I should have. I accomplished nothing by that call. So learn. So, Ms. Brooks, I don't know what redeeming 500 TV bucks conversion is, but I'm glad you did it. I hope that's good. I think that's good. I don't know how Twitch works. I'm a YouTube girl and a Gen Xer. I don't understand no Twitch. I don't understand all you crazy Zoomers with your Twitch and your Twitch and your TikToks. Now you got the blue this phone and I can't keep up. Oh, but the two and the four suck. I would. That's a monster high-low hand, and the problem there is the suits are on the wrong cards. If that was double suited to the 10 and the ace, so if I had like if the 2 and the 10 were switched suits, I would have played it. But because the ace and the 10 were the suit and the 2 and the 4, having a suited 2 4 is just if you even if you catch that flush, you're not feeling good about it. Like you're gonna lose more money than you're gonna make with that. Okay, so Ms. Brooks, you asked a great question, and I'd like to answer it. So, for those of you on YouTube that can't see the Twitch chat, Ms. Brooks asked if she said she's curious if the comments about the players carry over, if I can ever play the same player again. And the answer is in this site, no. This site is 100% anonymous random, and they do that on purpose. And that makes it actually a really soft site to play on. Most poker sites, you can do that. And so the other site that I play on is called Coin Poker. And on Coin Poker, you absolutely your marks and your comments and your stuff carries over and you see people and they have a chat room. And one of my strategies when I play on that site is as soon as I get into a hand, I immediately announce myself in the chat room and try to get people talking. Because if you can get people talking at a poker table, either virtually or in real life, eventually they will tell you how they play and what they're holding. And it's wild to see. It is
That's
wild.
amazing.
It is amazing. It's like a hack that I figured out when I first turned 21, and I went to Nevada for the first time, and it was in like a border town like Prim or something, and we were on. I went to a casino for the first time, and I sat and I played 7 card stud. That's how old I am. I'm going to defend this because it's a pair and a suited ace. And we do have the blocker here, but they're coming out swinging, so I'm gonna let them have it. They leave the blocker to the street, then they just like they donk, they just like snap potted out of position. So I'm gonna just assume they had a good hand and we didn't. So no need to mess with that. Oh shit, we're three-way now. All right, I gotta start paying attention. Answer. Oh, great hand. So Ms. Brooks, yeah, not here, not on this site. Doesn't carry over. Once they leave the table, you're gone. They don't know who I am either. But the other site, you can absolutely do that. See now, I do have the 9, and this is a paired board. We have the nut suit, so I'm gonna bet here. I'm gonna go half pot just to like buy because it's a paired board. People are scared of paired boards. We have the 9 blocker. Yeah, it's just an easy bet. And like that's the thing is like they might have chased clubs, but they probably would have called with an overpair, and they definitely would have raised with a 4 or called at least. Chances are raised. You can kind of play that way, and so we are here in a very bad hand. We're just gonna bet this one too because why not? It's 2 big blinds, and we can just get it. Yeah, why not? We're in position.
Go for it.
Yeah. Ah, yuck. We'll see. We'll see what they do. Not to erase. I'll limp. I'll limp. See if they take the blue. Look at that. Oh, I hit a great flop for our hand. That's terrific. Let's pop. Cool. Pop it again.
I take that down.
Oh, oh, not even the one. This is so bad. Well, we're heads up now. Well, we're heads up now. I have to play different because now we're heads up. So way more hands. We just hit that. Bought it. We don't want the hearts to come. Now we can bluff like crazy because it's just being there. And so we still have to be smart about it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like the 2 and the 3, even though we're on the button. What am I doing? Let's see if we have any fold equity with them. I don't know if we do. They might call it. No, we did. We have full equity with them, so we can open up our range a whole lot. So that's not great though. We're gonna fold this. Oh, we don't have to. We just win. Cool. They don't. I'm gonna take away their shark, and I'm gonna give them else because they're not. They're just a net. They're just a net. So basically, when they bet, I have to fold. That's the kind of player that they're loose passive,
Hmm.
which means that like or they're tight passive, which means they're only going to bet when they have a strong. It's the only time that. And so whenever they want to get money in the pot, unless I have a monster, I have to. But I can just keep throwing. I can just keep betting at them until they push back. So they have something here, and we do have straight draw, but it's not good enough, and we'd have the wrong suit. So I am gonna bet at them just to see what they do. If they call back, if they respond, if they keep playing, yeah, we get out. So I'm just gonna keep betting at them until they push back, and when they push back, I'm gonna fold. We'll see
Okay.
if they might pick up on it. But we're gonna see how long it's going. So we're gonna check raise on straight flush draw. they did. I'll check it back. I think they have a flush, and if they do, if they bet here, I have to fold because they beat us. Their flush beats us. They might have full house. Like if they bet here, we're beat. They're thinking. They don't know what to do. They're afraid of us.
Or this is
That means
mousy.
that I'm changing my strategy. If they bet, yeah, see, shit. They did have a full house, but they had a low full house, and they were afraid of it. They're fucking coward. All right, that changes our strategy. That we learned so much from how they played that. They couldn't bet. They couldn't bet. They were afraid with the full house. They were afraid
Wow.
because you do this. Now we have to bet at them every hand until they, and if they call even, we have to start betting. So now just like every hand, it doesn't matter what we're dealt. We're no longer playing. Ah, shit.
Oh,
But we know how to play against Heat One now. We just bet them relentlessly. Bet them relentlessly, and if hey, you know what? Let's think about our four bet. So this person that just jumped in the table and decided to three bet me on the first hand they got dealt into. I'll pretend like I thought about that. They're gonna call them, and I'm gonna go all in. Nice of them. I'm gonna play this too. Well, I'm gonna defend it. I think they're a maniac. I think seat two is an aggressive maniac. It's in one hand.
great.
We'll see.
A
We'll
mouse
see.
and a maniac.
Yes. We hit the backdoor flush draw. We have a pair of nines. Nine blocker. I'll see it one time, see if our hand improves. It does. Second now gives us a straight, but we're drawing mostly dead. I think they're aggressive, but I don't have the hand to justify it. It is second pair with equity. I probably should have called. I don't trust their aggression. I don't think it's warranted. They came out swinging like that. There's a chance they just could have got two hot hands in a row. It really is. And so they're just gonna bet. They're just gonna bet until they get pushed. So we got a mouse and a mini. They're gonna bet no matter what here, and I don't have the equity, so we missed our hand. So check fold. Look at that. Look at that. Almost certain. Let's see. See if they push back. We'll call a three bet. I think they got a little scared of us right out of the gate. They can donk this. They sure are. Let's go eight.
It scared him.
Yeah, now it's gonna double suited. Yeah, I'll play my top pair with a straight draw. Let's raise it 12. So you want to have a straight. What do you think about my straight that I'm fronting? Oh, Are they slow playing? One time. Okay, 15 more in there. Full house. You don't know. We got them. We got their number. Oh, this is fun now. Now I'm playing poker. When I gotta read, when I gotta beat on both my opponents, fuck, look out. Oh, this is what I love. We're in the shit now, Rayna. By the way, we're holding this shit hand.
Yeah, pair of
Well, it
threes.
depends what they do because if they fold, I'm betting at seat one.
Oh, yeah. Raise. So we're out.
I'm in small blind map garbage. Raising.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they raised.
Yeah.
So it's time to bail.
We will bet our very strong hand in the button. Are reasonably strong.
Not a monster.
We're gonna hit 2 pair, and we're gonna raise them yet again, and they're gonna call this time because they're sick of getting raised by us. So we're gonna go 12. But I've got a good strong hand here. I'm gonna go get the draws. I've got backdoor flush. I've got so much equity. They're getting sick of getting rebound. Yeah, they're getting sick of being raised. They're like, they can't have it. They can't. That's what they're thinking. Maniacs like this, like aggressive. Oh, I meant to call. Shit, I hit the wrong button. Oh well.
That's
all right.
number one.
Not the worst hand to fold. Not the worst hand. I've done that with like a monster before where
That's awful.
I have like the nuts and like it was a giant pot and I just hit the wrong thing. I was like, ah! You misclicked something. We're getting dealt hot hands in a very good situation. So this player is just I'm playing it. I'm not going anywhere. Not against you. Oh, not leaving. Not leaving. I'm not gonna raise because I don't. Well, now they came out swinging. We'll respect it. But I've got too much to. I've got too much to fold. Oh, come on, every bet. There it is. I do believe I'm good. I don't think they have a full house. They might though. They might have aces calling.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm dead. Yeah. I should have though. They are playing face up still. I can get that money back from them. I'm down 2 bullets now. Yeah. Yeah, man. So it takes one conversation, Jack.
Yeah, it's just like life.
All right, here's a hand. 4-way now with a new player that I don't know anything about, but we're gonna 3-bet this. Strong. We're in position. I'm gonna get my money back from this person that wants to play. We got top pair, so we're gonna continue with this. We'll 3-bet that small. We don't call. They might even dunk it. gonna call any bet. They shouldn't. This is a very disconnected, dry board. Yeah, we're gonna raise them up. I think they played every hand. Is that right? And they are playing face up too, so it's like they're min clicking, they're weak holding, betting their strong holdings hard. So that's even more of a bonus. There might be an actual VIP there.
Hmm. Which one?
So, C2. It's a hand. It's a half bet. It's not a min click, so they could easily have a pair of queens. We don't have much draw equity though. I mean, we have a pair of tens and we have an overcard with the ace. There's no spades. We don't have any. We don't have any flush draws, any straight draws. Like I'm like, oh, really, you get out, pick a better battle.
Pick your battles. Good
Yeah,
advice.
choose a better battle. Okay, so I'll be playing. So I'll be defending this. Oh, we got a full ring all of a sudden. We got a bunch of people that bought in for the men too.
Oh wow. Been a
Getting three
while
low with this guy.
since
No
you've
way,
had a
that's
full ring.
they got that. They have to bring in their nature. I'm gonna call it. We're gonna get a lot of calls. Maybe three more, two more calls. You're gonna call for sure. You don't limp and then call. If they limp and bet, we're the fuck out of here. They three bet here. If they limp three bet, that's like a super strong move. We do have a flush draw. There's a pair on the board. They did that. We're out of position. I'm quite frankly inclined to fold here because like so much beats us, and even if we hit, we're in trouble. I'm gonna call because we're gonna see what everyone else does, and if spades come, we're in great shape. But even still, there's easily a full house out there already. Yeah, we can't go farther with this hand. We can't go any. Yeah, there it is. There's full house. King's full. King's full of nines. That's what I'm putting seat five on. I put them on the full house. I might be wrong about that, but I put them on King's full to be quite frank. They have King in their hand.
Oh, you think they have kings?
Yeah, I think they have King in their hand.
Wow.
Well, no, they limped in. No, they don't have King. They have King nine.
King nine. Okay, so two pair and, yeah. Okay.
Oh, really?
Oh wow.
You just have okay. They had just a king in it. Thought about it. Wild, wild. We just saw. It's a weird call that seat one made. It's a real weird call. Satan's hand. Yeah. Hey, Emily, how you doing? You missed some excitement if you just got here. There was excitement. Feel free to join the commentary if you like.
Yes, Satan hand. I don't even know what that is. That's a term. That's one I haven't
666.
heard. Oh, 666. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Dur. Yeah.
The mark of the beast, which is actually just Emperor Nero, by the way. That's what the entire book about the Revelation is about Emperor Nero.
What? Really?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot to that. I could go into it, but like I'll send you some links to some stuff. The entire book of Revelation is Like all the predictions of the New Testament, all the prophecies, they're everyone that wrote that book expected that shit to happen in the first century. Like if there's no long lasting prophecies. It's like that book. The more I read it, the more I and study it, and the more I look into it, the dumber it gets. Like it's just like it proves itself wrong all the time. Like Jesus didn't fulfill a single messianic prophecy. It's like I used to be kind of a mythicist in the sense that I thought he was a mythical character made up out of whole made up kind of like an amalgam of like ideas like Moses was. But like but the more I look into it and the more I understand and learn about it, the more I come to realize that no, there was an actual guy, an actual uh cult leader, apocalyptic rabbi named Jesus, and he was doing stuff. There's too much documentation in the right places to say that he definitely wasn't that, but like he didn't do anything. Like even the prophecies that they say he fulfilled, like they got them wrong because the people that wrote the New Testament they wrote it in Koine Greek and they didn't know how to read Hebrew, and that became a. I was listening to a scholar, a biblical scholar who knows Koine Greek, knows Aramaic, reads Hebrew, and has the Bible memorized, and it was talking about this, and like the people that wrote the New Testament, they got it from what was called the Septuagint, which is the original Greek version of the Torah, but it was a really bad translation of the Torah. And if you're able to read Koine Greek and Hebrew, which he is, then he saw that it was evident to him that the people that wrote the prophecies and the things in the New Testament were referencing the Septuagint and not the actual Torah. And so like it doesn't make sense because the Septuagint is such a bad translation from Hebrew to Greek that like it got a bunch of stuff wrong, and so they think these things that are prophecies aren't prophecies because they were reading the wrong fucking book. Like it's like they tried to make these prophecies. Now, what I'm convinced is that the authors that wrote the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they aren't actually. First of all, like we don't know who wrote those books. Like it's no biblical scholar, Christian or otherwise. No one that's serious thinks that those were actually written by the people that wrote them. There's super like lots of plagiarism overlap. There's a bunch of really the thing about it is so like they were written by somebody. And my thinking is because they were written in Koine Greek at the time where the Greek Empire did still exist, like they I think it was Greek students that were reading the Septuagint or that they had translated the Septuagint, they're reading the Septuagint and they were just students and they were like this was an assignment, like and they were writing that they like here build on this, build some mythology on this, and I think it just got picked up and spread around. I mean that's my guess, but it is a guess. I'm not a biblical scholar. I don't read Koine Greek or Hebrew or Aramaic, but I mean I I know a lot about this. We're in a hand here. We have top pair, good straight draw. Well, not a good straight draw. We have a top pair and a straight draw. We're out of position. We'll check it. We'll
Yeah,
check it
five
too. And I
makes it
know
bad, right?
we've been talking about the New Testament.
Yeah, I mean that we went off on a whole like interesting tangent there.
We did hit a straight, but the flush came, so that's pretty much terrible for us.
Um,
So we are going to check at our position, and we're going to call a small bet and unfold to a large. We're going to check it down and hope they check back and we win. Well, we have the nut straight, but any flush beats us. But we do block diamonds.
A little bit.
So
Hello,
yep.
everybody, by the way. I'm here. Hello.
Hi, Emily. Did you
Oh,
hear our
hello.
discussion about the New Testament?
Yes, the
Yes,
Septuagint. Yes, this is something that I haven't read yet, cover to cover, but it's on my list.
I haven't read the Septuagint either.
No, I have to learn the language first. I would
I
actually
haven't.
love to learn these ancient languages. It's very fascinating.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I want to, since we're talking about it, here's the thing about the Holy Bible is, in my opinion, it's a dog shit in so many ways. It's clearly not true. It's a very badly written, badly compiled, badly edited, badly. The translations we've got now and the modern scholarly translations, they're good translations, but we don't have any of the original text, any of the original anything, and what it reads like it's just so it's such a bad book that it contradicts itself. It proves itself false. That's how bad it is. Like, and so, plus, not only that, it's like ethically terrible. The God's a fucking barbarian. Jesus is a fucking arrogant prick. Like, the whole thing is terrible. However, it has value, and
Don't mince words.
its value is anthropology. It is the best source of anthropology that I've ever seen because it paints an absolutely crystal clear picture of the culture of the Near East from the Bronze Age to the Classical era. That is how they thought, that is how they behaved, that is what their value system was. That is
Yes,
the most
yes.
valuable anthropological book
Yeah.
I can think of, but people take it seriously, and it's fucking batshit insane that anyone can take that fucking ridiculous book seriously because it says stupid ass fucking ridiculous shit, and it's not even right about the stuff that it says about itself. It's so bad.
It's so funny. Yeah. We met this lady
Like,
who she was like learning, she was like got approached by the Christian missionaries, I don't know what denomination. And at first she thought all those stories, oh, it's just mythical stories. And then she realized that they thought it was true.
right. Well, and this is a thing that you'll get a lot of the atheist debaters that I watch will say a lot. This is a talking point that flies around. It's like there's 40,000 denominations of Christians, and if you get two Christians in a room and ask them their opinion, you get two Christians in a room and ask them their opinions about the Bible, you'll get three interpretations. That's like I've never met a Christian that believes the same thing as another Christian, and none of them, and almost none of them have read them. Like they don't know what's in it. They don't know what it says. A lot of them they don't even they haven't read it at all. They just go to church and believe what their pastor tells them, or they've read the parts that get pointed out by the pastors, but the
Right.
pastors
And cherry
intentionally
picked.
well, and the pastors intentionally don't read the bad parts
Yep.
because they don't want to scare people away from their religion. They
Right.
get money, they get paid by people coming in. So they want to draw in and keep as many people as possible. They're like financially bound to that. Like it's their livelihood. So like they have to do that. So it's the whole thing is just preposterous, and the notion that like anyone that could hear that story, knowing what we know about science, about the way the world works, about our reality as the average 10-year-old understands it, if you pitched that story and it wasn't embedded in our culture and people weren't indoctrinated going door to door telling people truth, if that was just like it came out of nowhere, aliens came and they're like, hey, check out this story, this is what happened, this is what's going on your planet, we would laugh them the fuck out of here. No one would take them seriously. It's clown shoes. Like it's a preposterous notion. Like the idea that Genesis contradicts itself by the second chapter, by like the second page, it already flat out is wrong. Like I could go through the book of Genesis alone and find 100 things that are demonstrably factually incorrect. And it's insane how easy it is to do. And you can do that with the whole book from the first page to the last. It's just garbage from the beginning to the end. Oh, sorry, I get on this.
And we wonder why Amanda is involved in the ACA.
Not with them anymore. I stepped back because of the other stuff. It was just I didn't have the time to dedicate to it.
Yeah.
So I don't actually work with the ACA anymore.
Sad.
And I miss them. I wish I was. I wish I was. Yeah. I would have liked to know Forrest better. He's cool as shit.
Amanda ends up with 3 pair in this one. 4
What?
pair. You got 4 pair.
Oh yeah, we're playing poker. Holy fuck! I haven't paid attention to this for the last.
What's been going on? This is a bad hand, right? Fold.
Yeah, I just folded junk.
Garbage.
Yeah, yeah, I've been getting nothing but junk. Looks like we might get a free roll. No free roll. The overpowered nit does that, so that means they have a marginal hold. We don't have anything, so
Okay.
they do not have a good strong hand. They have a marginal hand. Maybe a pair of jacks or something. Tens, middle pair maybe.
You have folded wisely.
Rundown, rainbow run.
Indeed.
Go loose rundown with gappers. They're a nit, so when they bet, we have to be real quick. Even if they're that small, they've got a hand. That's pretty true for anyone at this table, I'd say. Like I haven't seen bluffing in a long time. This player came out swinging earlier, but look, they punted the stack that I punted to them. Probably went over here. I don't know, maybe it went over here and they left with it. I don't know. It was a bad hand. ACA as an atheist community of Austin. They have a YouTube channel. They have their 4 main shows that they have are called Truth Wanted, which I've been on twice. The Nonprofits, Prophet. It's very clever. The Atheist Experience and Talk Even. I was a guest on Truth Wanted twice, and I was doing sound audio tech work for both the AT Experience and Talk Even. And then they do, yeah, that's correct. And yes, it is the Atheist Community of Austin. Check out their stuff. It's really good stuff. And so they host they started the Atheist Experience like 30 years ago, and it's been I think really like 28. I think they're either in their 27th or 28th season. And so they've been doing it, and basically they started in Austin, Texas, and they were doing it in cable access, and they shared a studio with Alex Jones.
Of all people, I mean, he's
Yeah,
quite a purveyor of truth himself.
That's where Matt Dillahunty comes from, and a couple other like it and Forrest Valkai. They got their start there, and so like, but basically it's a call-in show. It's a YouTube call-in show. It used to be an in-studio show where they're atheists, people that are believers that are theists call in. Oh, we're heads up. We're heads up with our friend again. And people call in and they debate them and they discuss their beliefs. Basically, the overall conceit of it is tell us what you believe and why, and let's figure out whether or not you have a good reason to believe what you believe. And they never do, and they always get cooked, and it's a wonderful thing. Like it's a wonderful Schadenfreude, and you learn so much about the Bible and Christianity and sometimes Islam and other things too. And I love it. And so there's a spin-off YouTube series of YouTube channels called The Line that was started by this guy named Jimmy Snow, who's an ex-Mormon. And the ACA is a non-profit, so they don't make any money and they just try and break even. But The Line is a for-profit station, and Jimmy is a really good businessman and executive producer. He's always he's razor fucking sharp and smart as fuck and cool as fuck. And he has a lot of the people that are the best, shinest, the brightest stars on the ACA then go over and work on the line. And so that's where you've got your Forrest Falki, your Matt Dillahunties, your Arden Hearts, your Josie, Josie Caballero, Dr. Ben's over there. Who else is there? Um, Seth Anders, Promise. Yeah, there's just a bunch of really good people there, and they're awesome. And I strongly recommend watching them. It's pretty much all I do now. And now my latest kick has been this other guy named Justin, who's the biblical scholar. He has his own TikTok thing called it's called the Deconstruction Zone, and it's on TikTok and YouTube. He's primarily so. Oh, okay. We'll bet. I don't think they have quads, and so they're probably just gonna fold. But I want them to have a good strong pair
Why would you want that?
because we have aces.
We have the better
I
pair.
want them to have kings or wolf. Small. On that pot, if they have a 4, they win. I mean, if they raise,
Ooh, they don't have a 4.
they have a 4, and I'm folding. They have a fucking 4. I have to fold 4s full of aces on this board. I have to. I believe them. Fuck.
Or do you think you don't think they're bluffing?
No, they're a fuck. They have not bet anything without the nuts. Like they have it. They just have the 4. I know I made. That is such a hard fold to make.
Yeah.
And I know I'm right. I know I'm right. God damn it.
Speaking of Matt Dillahunty, have you seen so Jordan Peterson did one of those dumb like
where he took on 20 atheists?
Yeah. And
That's not Matt Dillahunty's response to it.
Yeah, did you see it?
Oh,
I
didn't see the 20 atheist thing. I saw Matt Dillahunty's response to it. Because he wasn't invited. Because Matt Dillahunty kicked his ass in the debate that they did have. Matt Dillahunty mopped the floor with him, and it was wonderful to see.
And that's why it's a great video to watch, because watching Jordan Peterson ever is just like nails on a chalkboard. He's so ridiculous. But to be able to see Matt's video where Matt opens with the showing the clips from when Matt and Peterson had their sparring match, and then he goes into commenting and responding to what he's saying during this.
So you know that you're Gabriel.
That was amazing. The only way to quit smoking is with supernatural interference.
The only way to quit smoking is with the power of God, according to Jordan Peterson.
The power of Christ compels you to quit smoking.
Jordan Peterson.
The power of Christ compels you to quit smoking.
Wow.
There's a website called the Wisdom of Peterson. All it is a Jordan Peterson quiz generator, and it's the funniest fucking shit. Here, I'll do one right now. Oh, let's Wisdom of Peterson. There we go. There, let's click, and you just click it. Information explains. I'll read it in a Jordan Peterson voice. Information explains the doorway to brightness. Here, I'll go. You can click more wisdom or tweet wisdom. Let's do more wisdom. Experiential truth results from the light of metaphorical substrate.
just bloviating jargon based
word salad. It's great.
Exactly. Traditional archetypes nurture positive opportunities.
Oh my gosh, that's not bad.
It's a really funny thing to do. So whenever I get into online arguments with Phil Bros and Christian apologists, if you don't know, it's Phil Bros like philosophy guys that they're Christian apologists and they think they know everything because they fucking listen to Jordan Peterson and Dark Gothams and they take this presuppositional position, and it's just they come in with all these like, oh, I've studied philosophy. They're not there to prove a point or learn anything or do anything. They're there to outwit you with their superior intellect. And whenever I encounter one of those dudes in an argument, I go immediately to this site and just start saying this stuff at them. Like, and I just respond with Jordan Peterson wisdom of Peterson quotes. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I don't know what you're and they'll say, what does it mean? And then I'll just do another one. And I'll say, well, it means is blah, 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 blah. They'll say, well, what do you mean by that? And I'll say, well, what I mean by that is the Bible comprehends a symphony of observations. And they'll say, and then if I do that long enough, they will start responding like they do know what I'm talking about. And then we'll get into an argument and I'll just keep going on with this. Like,
Oh
and
my gosh.
it's amazing.
That is
Trolling the
incredible.
trolls. I love it.
Oh,
Always great.
I hate those guys. And it is always guys. It's always men. Like 100%. You don't think they're all men. It's like a filbros. It's never a girl or a man by the end. Ever, 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 ever. Never met a one. Oh fuck, we're just getting our ass handed to us.
Oh no.
No, it's just I'm not paying attention anymore. It's after 4. We fired 2 bullets and we're down now. We're seeing dog shit hands. I think I'm gonna wrap this up. Eat my losses. Eat shit. Uh that fucking quads thing killed me. I know. I know they had quads. I know they didn't have queens. I know they didn't have queens. And it's like it was one of those things where it's like the only thing that could have possibly beat me was quads, and I know they had it. I just know, and it's one of those things where it's like I still want to know for sure because I don't know for sure. Like
Mm.
if I got blown off that hand because they had a pair of kings and we would have split, or because they had queens and they like were like this has got to be good enough because they saw me being aggressive, like but they just weren't. They just haven't said anything that wasn't the nuts. So I'm gonna fold this dog shit. I'm gonna sit out and I'm gonna cash out and say fuck it to this. Come on, turn your cameras back on later.
All right. Oh, I don't have my lights on though. Hold on.
Yeah, there's Emily.
Hi.
Get us back. Hang on. I'm gonna get the post game going.
This is gonna be great. Whew.
Bring us over here. We'll transit.
Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry.
Bro.
I should
Hello,
go back to
Emily.
audio. Hold on.
How are you doing, Emily?
That's loud.
And that's what you come to for a poker show is a debate on atheism. I don't know. What was the trigger point? It was the devil hand, and I asked this question.
And yeah, you asked what it was, and I said. Well, and then I said.
Oh, that was it.
Well, see, I kept feeding this. This was all me because I put the Satan's hand thing in there, and then Rayna asked a question, and so I said you would know because you spent all the time with the ACA, and so that led us down that rabbit hole. And then you mentioned Matt, and I was just like, oh, I just watched that video today, and then we went on a Peterson tangent. So we triple tangented all because of me, and that is what happens. That is the joy of bringing Emily on. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you got beat on both of those? Well, and
Is
then
that normally what happens when Emily's on? Does you guys always get off on interesting tangents?
I appreciate you throwing me the bone of saying that they were interesting tangents.
Yeah, it was fun.
We've been talking to ourselves this entire time.
Oh no, production issue.
Damn, I'm back with the audio. Oh my God, such the thing. I fucking OBS. I
You need
hate
a
producing.
producer for this show.
I need a producer. I hate doing this. By the way, if you're watching this, Ms. Brooks, do you want to come work with us? Because we need some people to like do some shit that I do not want to do. I don't want to do it.
And just so you know, Amanda makes it look difficult. It isn't.
I
I
mean,
know I'm like the opposite
Amanda
of a
can make
magician.
it a little difficult though for me. So
You did just give me a really good idea for a stand-up act, and that's just being a really terrible magician. Just trying to pull off magic tricks and basically being Joe Bluth.
Well, and then at some point, like you have to actually like hurt yourself, like you have to cut yourself and like need a band-aid.
And I was like,
like,
shit, fuck, no, check it out. This is supposed to work.
I just
feel like
see
that
this
would
is
I
the
could
thing.
do that. I could do that kind of an act.
I'm gonna get myself in a lot of trouble here.
Oh no,
But
don't.
I just imagine putting Amanda and Charlotte in a room together with a computer and just observing the bloodbath that ensues.
What do you mean by
I don't
that?
understand. What would they fight over? Like
Not
what
them
channel?
fighting over just neither of them are super technologically sound.
Oh, I see.
Let's just
Oh,
say.
okay.
You know, I'm not even offended by that because it's true. I kind of hate it, but like it's like I literally did work in tech. I was in an IT help desk for 3 years.
Oh my God! So did you go like did you turn it off and back on?
I did that exact job. Yeah, I did that. I
You
was
just
Richard
tape your
Iwata,
voice and
yeah.
play it back. Play the tape back.
My ear is hot.
But yeah, Charlotte is always. I just hear very similar comments from her, having to do with technology and computers and phones and stuff. And I just think it's just funny the idea of you two trying to help each other through some kind of tech thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, see that there. I mean, I've had the back and forth with Charlotte that I've had, and like when we're talking in real time, it's great. But when we're texting, I never know what the fuck she's talking about because it's like the combination of her text speak and her Tasmanian slang. Like, I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck are you. Is that a bad sentence? Or does that actually mean something in the part of the world that you live in? I don't know which one it is. Because what's definitely true is the spelling and the capitalization are really fucking terrible. But like that could be on purpose because I don't know what the fuck's going on in Tasmania.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about being in a long distance relationship, of being like, oh, when are we going to have a chance for a call? Because I'm trying to decide whether to say, what the hell did you just say to me? Or just let it go and bring it up again on the call. Is this something that's important that I'm going to need to respond to? Or can I just let it go and then ask later, like, remember the thing you said? What did that mean? Yeah, I'm giving up a lot, way too much information here. I feel like
Charlotte's saying a lot of funny shit in the comments right now, by the way.
Oh
Like,
my gosh! I was looking
Charlotte's
away.
got some gems, and she's laughing. Yeah,
And
Charlotte,
then
I do love
message
you, by the way.
retracted. Okay.
Yeah.
Message retracted. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's the
Yeah,
one I
that was probably
You're
probably
gonna have a
horrible,
fun
probably
evening, I
terrible.
think.
Yeah. That or she was, maybe she was actually she was trying to send a different message to like, for like her insurance company or something.
Or direct
You
message,
got a
not
chat
to
with a help
us,
desk
not
somewhere.
to the
Just like,
world.
I got my wires crossed.
Capitalizing is so passe.
Oh my God. Okay. It's late. I got to get ready for border trans. We're doing that in about
Yay.
what? We're going to be doing
I
border
won't be
trans
there,
in 45 minutes. So come back, take a break, make some dinner, make a little dinner, have a little quick bite to eat, and come on back. In 45 minutes, we're going to start. We're going to play border trans.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I won't, but you guys
Where is she
will.
from? Is she Midwestern or Brooklyn? I got a little bit
It's
of
Brooklyn.
city, I
That's
got
a Brooklyn act. That's Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper's from Brooklyn.
Cyndi Lauper?
She's from Brooklyn and she's got a psoriasis medicine. She's so happy.
Well, I want to tell you guys something. This is one of those amazing Rayna first moments.
Yeah.
Okay, Christina gave me this hard cookie. And I'm like, God, this is so hard. And she gave me a cup of coffee. And I'm like, God, this cookie's so hard. And she's like, you dip it in the coffee. So I dipped it in the coffee. And then it was really soft after. Like instantly. It was soft after. Isn't that amazing? Have you guys ever experienced that?
All right.
Yes.
Let's get the YouTube chat going again here real quick. The other day we got some cookies and I'm like, can I get a glass of milk? And first off, Charlotte looked at me like I was insane. She's like, do you mean coffee? I'm like, no, milk. It's cookies. And then she pours 2 glasses of milk because she wants to try this. And she turns around and opens the microwave. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Putting them in the
She's like, put them in the microwave. And I'm like, no.
The cookies or the milk?
The milk.
Oh,
the milk,
okay.
yeah.
And
I get it.
So
okay, I get
and so
that.
I'm like, hot milk around bedtime is a thing. So have at it. That's fine. And then she just proceeds to stare at me as I'm dipping my cookies in cold milk and going, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "This is an American tradition. This is like apple pie.
It's really good too. Like it's like
cookies and milk. Yeah, Oreos.
Cookies and milk, milk and cake, like milk and chocolate cake. Yeah.
I've never done that.
Got milk. I mean, come on. It was
I've never put my.
I don't like milk. I don't like it, but I like it with cookies and I like it with chocolate cake.
Yeah.
I keep my solids separate from my liquids usually. Yeah.
But I was treated as if I was
gravy. She just drinks gravy out of a glass.
Oh no, gravy! I do gravy. Okay.
I got the spaghetti on my plate. I got my sauce in a bowl.
No, but there's a difference. Gravy is more viscous. Milk is more like a fluid, so that's the difference, It's like kind of a solid still. It's just viscous.
All I'm saying is I got
gravy a liquid?
I was an insane person.
Liquid gravy, yeah.
Yes, gravy is a liquid. Do you think it's a solid, a gas, or a plasma?
It's not a plasma. It's not a gas.
Right. I mean,
it's fairly solid. Okay. It takes up space. It has mass.
Wow.
I think it's like in a transitional phase. Like it could go either way.
I mean, I've seen gelatinous gravy where it's like
now that
cold,
is that
even then,
like that's not a liquid, is it? Gelatinous
I think
gravy?
anything that visibly moves when you turn it is liquid.
How do you define
is
a liquid?
gum a liquid or a solid?
I think it's a solid for sure.
I think gum's a solid too. I think that's
a safe bet.
Gum, you can't pour gum. Like if you held cold gravy sideways, you can watch it change shape and move. That's a liquid. Is
that the definition of it? If you hold it sideways and it changes shape,
actually know what the defining
seriously.
definition
I'm not like
is.
This is not a bit. This is me actually. I'm like not really knowing what's going on.
Well, I've got another wild one for you. So the other wild one is glass. So like glass, a window is moving. Like if you have really old glass, it droops and sags and drips it gets warbly and wavy because it is slowly dripping down.
What?
Yeah,
really?
That's a true thing. And so
is
glass a solid or a liquid?
Well, I thought it was a solid until now.
It is a solid. It's clearly a solid. If you hit it with a bat, it'll shatter into a million pieces. That's a solid.
Charlotte says it's a liquid.
Charlotte
It's a
says glass
liquid?
is a liquid. Fucking
Do not
Australia's
drink that.
wild.
Very
Fucking
important
God, what a
tip.
country
Do
you've
not
got down
drink that.
there.
Thank you, Charlotte. I'm all about
Right.
safety too. That's something that's very important to me.
All right, I gotta go. I gotta eat a snack before we get on the board of trans. My headphones are dying. They're gonna cut out any second. Like,
Or charge up.
this has been fun. I love you girls. Emily, come back and do the show with us every time.
I'll try. I'll see what we can do. No
I love
promises.
it. Every time we can get you, I'm gonna consider a bonus. We love you. We love you. We think you're great.
This is Tasmania, by the way.
It
It's
is
so
tough.
cute. I thought it was a butterfly when I saw it
Oh.
earlier, but
And that is
I
Hobart.
thought it was South Carolina, and you got that at the
oh
Jesus
wow!
theme
So it's
park.
like a geographical piece of jewelry. That's
It's
like
a
educational.
Like
geographical
the
book.
star. That's for the place where the jewel is. That's
That
that's
is
Charleston.
amazing.
I just doxed myself.
Yeah,
with my
fire-
jewelry.
Oh shit!
right there.
Yeah. Fix it in post. Oh crap!
Yeah.
It's a live
Here,
show.
here. I'll do. You can see
Is that-
Tasmania, but you can't see
is that-
exactly where I'm at.
A direct gift from Strom Thurmond to you. All right, girls. I gotta go.
Bye.
Kisses. We'll see ya. Come back at the top of the hour.